Good morning, beautiful people, on this Tuesday. So, going to the gym as usual. Going to be doing some back, back traps and a little bit of biceps, I think, is what is on the agenda. Yesterday, I was doing some cardio, starting the cut, as I mentioned previously. This time I've actually taken the time to sit down, come up with my plan and everything, and write it all out. So I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm also gonna cut back on some of the intake I had. I was doing protein shakes, admittedly, pretty much every morning, and wasn't really eating breakfast. I want to swap that around. Probably just for maybe like some fruit or like a Greek yogurt or something like that. A little bit something a little bit more less processed, a little bit a little bit more carbs, calories, and then maybe that'll make it where my lunch, eating a little bit cleaner and not having such a big lunch, and also not feeling so snacky. Excuse me, before I go to bed. With me still doing the work and doing the nurse practitioner program and everything, swapping it up from the 3-day split, I'm bumping it on up to a 4-day split. When I look back at everything, I think the 4-day split, even with me doing all the things that I'm doing, seemed to work the best for me. Doing a 6-day split, I really couldn't, I guess, kind of like hone in too good. So 6-day split with everything I got going on was just a little bit too much time invested. I mean, working, doing the nurse practitioner. I got, the wife, kids, family. I don't have like a landscaper or nothing crazy like that. I do my own landscaping and stuff with the wife. So all those things, doing all those things, it's like, time is of the essence. So definitely 6 days a week is a rough go of it. 5, structurally, 5 just doesn't feel right to me in a way. Like, I know a lot of people, they do like Monday through Friday, have Saturday, Sunday off. I just don't feel like Monday, Tuesday, I feel pretty good. Wednesday, I feel pretty good. But then it's like Thursday, Friday, it's like my systemic fatigue is just a little elevated. So I feel like after that third day, I need that recovery day, and then I could do 2 more. Admittedly, I'm not on any kind of gear. I mean, I take pre-workout and protein shakes. Like, I'm not even on creatine right now. Because I'm one of those people where when I take creatine, like, my abdomen likes to get real bloated and retain water also. So the creatine, even though it does help with some of the muscle density, when I'm doing my creatine, I feel like I just look puffy, like in general. Like, I just look puffy. I look like one of those giant marshmallows you would roast by the campfire. So don't really care to do that. So we're not going down that train. At least not for right now. I mean, once I get down in weight a little bit, I might go backwards and do some maybe some creatine hydrochloride. I feel like with the hydrochloride, it'll make it where it's a little bit more bioavailable bioavailability. Hey, struggling with that word this morning. Bioavailability. There we go. To the cells, so the cells can somewhat absorb it and get some hypertrophy going. I know that's what a lot of people will claim the science is of the creatine hydrochloride. I've never tried it really, but now with me doing the advanced pathophysiology and advanced epidemiology and stuff like that, looking at it, I'm like, it kind of makes sense why that would work. Also, you're taking less of it, so because of the concentrate of it, so there's less likelihood that it's getting absorbed in your gut and getting kind of stuck there. And if it is getting kind of stuck in the gut biome when it gets absorbed, at least it's not as much and it's not caking up in there. Because I think that's kind of my problem is creatine, when you take it, it absorbs in the intestines for the most part. And then your intestines basically, through various mechanisms, gets it into the bloodstream gets it into the muscles, and that's why you have like a 2-week loading phase, as they say, if you do a loading phase. Or if you don't do a loading phase, it can take 3 to 4 weeks before you really notice any difference with creatine, is because your intestines have to basically absorb it, do other mechanisms to get it into your bloodstream, and then your bloodstream gets it to your muscle tissue, and then your muscle tissue gets it into the cells. The cells take it up and start soaking up that juicy water that you're drinking, and then that provides the density to the muscle, and that supplies the hypertrophy gains that you see with creatine. So that's pretty much how it works. Some people are a non-responder to creatine, like it does absolutely nothing to them. If you're a person that eats a lot of red meats, steaks, hamburgers, stuff like that, which admittedly I do, you might be just already getting your creatine intake that you need. So supplementing more creatine on top of that can give you that bloated look like I have. Also, it can just be a waste of money. Granted, creatine is very cheap. Oh, excuse me. So I think with me doing I eat a lot of steak, meat, stuff like that because my wife's Mexican and she cooks a lot of stuff like that. Like we'll have like steak fajitas and stuff like that a lot. And so I feel like my creatine intake is just probably already naturally where it needs to be. And that's why supplementing, 5 grams of creatine every day is just not worth it for me. Again, like as I'm starting to lean out, I start doing more lean meat and doing more fruits and vegetables and stuff like that, and less meat. It may be more apt to be something I'll supplement with. But as of now, there's just no point in it. But going back to what I was saying. Oh. The 4-day split seems to be really good for me. So like I can do a Sunday is basically one of the days. Monday I'm doing that big travel and I wake up super early for it. Like I leave my house probably at 4 to 4:15, and I probably wake up at like 3:30 to take a shower to kind of wake up, get me a cup of coffee, make sure all my stuff's packed up right. And I usually pack it the night before. I just do a quick look over, make sure I got everything packed before I leave the house, and then I drive 2 hours, and then I clock in by about 6:30 to start my morning at my job on Mondays. And then I'm working a 12 to 13 hour shift. By the time I get off, it's after 7 o'clock, and I just don't feel like doing anything at that point because I'm just mentally drained more so than anything, and I just get off, maybe watch a little video here or there, or look at emails, messages, whatever I need to do. Then I go to sleep. Tuesdays are a really good day for me, so, and then Wednesdays are a really good day for me. And then Thursday, I drive home late at night, so I'll get off at, let's say, 7, 8 o'clock at night, and I drive 2 hours home, so by the time I get home, it's 10:30, and by the time I get home, I'm just like, all right, I'm tired, I go to bed, I naturally just wake up, and then I just don't feel like going to the gym, because I'm exhausted from the work week. I just went to the gym for 2 days in a row, just had that long drive, everything. So Thursdays, I usually try to take off. If I do go to the gym with the wife, I just do some cardio, nothing crazy. And then Friday is another day that I go to the gym. If for whatever reason I have something coming up on Friday where I can't make it to the gym on Friday, I'll substitute it for Saturday. So it could be Friday or Saturday, but usually about 90% of the time it's on a Friday. And then Saturday I take off to, just do stuff with the kids, be outside, clean the yard, whatever I need to do. Usually that's my Saturdays. And then Sunday I'm rinsing and repeating. So it's like a Sunday is like chest, shoulders, arms. Well, chest, shoulders, triceps. Uh, Monday off, Tuesday back, traps, biceps, and then Wednesday is my leg day, and then I'll take that day off on Thursday, and then Friday is another leg day. So the leg day on Wednesday will be very quad dominant, and the leg day on Friday is usually more glute focused and glute and hamstring focused. So I just kind of split myself in half in a way, and then I also throw a little bit more arms on the Friday one, just because I'm trying to get a little bit bigger arms and bigger calves and bigger legs. Like I'm focusing on legs and arms basically right now, and I'm not trying to. My chest is naturally pretty decent. My back, one of my favorite things to train. So it's kind of a head. So the lagging body parts from this previous cut and bulk was definitely arms and legs. So that extra day I'm gonna dedicate to trying to bring my arms and legs up to that next level and get them matching everything else. Abs. So abs I'll throw in on Sunday, and I'll usually throw them in on Friday. So I'm training those twice a week at least with weight resistance. And then for cardio, my cardio is usually a warm up. So I do a warm up in the morning, get the blood flowing and stuff like that. And then also for cardio, when I'm at home, like I mentioned on Thursdays, if I go with the wife to the gym just to spend time with her, I'll get on the bike or treadmill or whatever. And then on Saturdays, I'm doing yard work or out playing with the kids, going for a walk, going to the park, XYZ things. So I'm kind of being active there. But if I have like a day, sometimes I'll randomly, like let's say I got a midterm, like when I had that midterm that was due a while back, I will sometimes go to the gym, get on the bike, and I'll look up. I think it's Ninja Nerd is what it is. He breaks down the pathophysiology of a lot of anatomy and medical stuff like that, mainly for MD school, but I'm using it for the family nurse practitioner program. And the Ninja Nerd, I'll kind of watch one of those videos, get on the bike. They're usually about an hour long, So I'm just doing some slow, steady state cardio for an hour, watching the Ninja Nerd video for that advanced patho, and I'm just sitting there chilling, watching that. I'll finish that video. Usually, like I said, they're about roughly 45 minutes to an hour long, somewhere in there, usually closer to the hour mark. And when the video finishes, I get off the bike, wipe it down, go home, take a shower, and then I will kind of, when I get home, I'll kind of go back through the video, and if there was anything that didn't like stick the first time I watched it, I'll just kind of like highlight those sections a little bit. You know, obviously with YouTube, you can actually break videos down into smaller sections. So sometimes I'll do that. I'll kind of section it out if it's not already been done so by the creator. Or if I didn't understand it the way he said it, maybe I'll look up Osmosis is another YouTube place I go. Osmosis is usually like a down and dirty, so to speak, or they give you like a crash course on stuff, in my opinion, comparatively. And then the Ninja Nerd gets like way, 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 way more in depth. So usually I do the Ninja Nerd first, and then if there's something like, okay, let me just get a little brief overview of that concept that he went over, because I feel like the way he explained it maybe went over my head or it just didn't click. And then I go to Osmosis, and usually theirs gives me that foundational concept, and then I'm like, oh, okay, now I get it. Now I understand why he said this leads to this because of this. You know, it helps me put all the keys there. Admittedly, I don't really read the chapters because, for one, the chapters are ridiculously large, and that's just not the way I learn. I've tried it, and I've tried it multiple times to do it that way, and it always backfires and fails on me, and I don't get do well on quizzes and tests when I try to do reading comprehension with anatomy or any of the sciences. So with that said, oh, and then also those chapters, if you ever having trouble sleeping, just try to read one of those chapters. It's very informative information, but the people that write it, whew, they are some snooze festers. You try to read it and you're just over there passing out the whole time. I'll get like 5-6 pages in and I'm snoring. It's crazy. But anyways, let me get in, get this workout done. Y'all have a great and wonderful day.